A League of Their Own was based on a true story, but how true were the actual characters in the movie? We are going to find out. Big Lan! Question number 1. What was the name of Gina Davis's character?
God.
Look, I tried to give him a heads up that we were doing this, and he could watch the movie in anticipation. He chose not to because he chose to go to work.
Yeah, and make money.
I know.
Unfortunately. Dang it.
Starts with a D.
Doris May.
No, but you're kind of combining a couple of characters there. No, her name was Dottie Hinson.
Dottie Hinson, and her sister was Kit.
Yeah, exactly. So, quarter of a point for the Kit reference. So, Dottie Hinson was inspired by real-life player Dorothy Kamenchek. I think I'm pronouncing her last name right. She also went by Dottie and Cammy. Now, the real-life Dottie was a left-handed first baseman and outfielder, while Dottie from the movie was a right-handed catcher. Real-life Dottie didn't retire after just one season. Remember, that's kind of the whole thing with Dottie Hinson is that she plays the one season, she leaves, comes back, and then she's done after that. No. Real-life Dottie played 10 seasons and had an all-time best .292 average and struck out just 81 times over the course of those 10 seasons.
Wow. It's Tony Gwynn numbers.
Tony Gwynn numbers. Now, question number 2. Can you name the 4 teams that started the league?
It was the... I've been traded to...
Oh, see? I was hoping you were going to do this. Because remember, go before that. Because remember when Kit finds out she's on the team, she's like, I'm a...
Peach.
Yeah!
Peach. I've been traded to Macine.
Oh, you're so close. You're so close. Oh my God, you're right there. It's Racing, Portugal. Bells. Now the other 2, these ones I don't really expect you to get because they're really only mentioned. I mean, kind of throughout, periodically through the movie. The other 2 are the Kenosha Comets and the South Bend Blue Sox. But I'll tell you what, I'll give you 3/4 of a point for picking up on Peaches when we went through that scene, and then you get Macine's close enough, so 3/4 of a point.
So that puts me up to 1 point.
You're up to 1 full point. 1 out of 2. Here's number 3. Who won the title the first season in the movie?
The Bells.
You are correct. It was the Racine Bells. In the movie, Kit runs over Dottie at the plate, causing Dottie to drop the ball. And my God, watching Kit sit there and cry after she gives up the lead, it's like, dude, just stop crying, go out there and hit the ball. And she did. And she ends up winning the game, wins the championship for her team. Now,
because there's no crying in baseball.
Exactly. Like Jimmie Dugan says, and we're going to get to Jimmie Dugan here in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
So in real life, the Bells were the playoff champions, while the Kenosha Comets were the league champions. The Peaches finished dead last that first season. The Bells beat the Comets in the playoffs, but the Peaches, they would go on to win 4 titles, and that would be 1945, 48, 49, and 50.
All
right, you are 2 for 3. Here's number 4. Who was Walter Harvey based on?
Wrigley. The guy who made the gum.
Yep, Philip K. Wrigley. He was the heir to the Wrigley gum fortune. He also owned the Chicago Cubs, and in real life, he did found the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League.
Hey.
3 for 4. Number 5. What kind of schooling was a requirement for all ball players?
Finishing school.
Yeah. That's the same as charm school, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you know the one scene when they're telling the ladies to cross their legs?
Yep.
And she's like, a lady never reveals, or whatever the one lady, the teacher says. And then Kit laughs. That was an actual laugh. That wasn't in the script. They were just filming, and she broke out in laughter, and so they put it in the movie. So charm school was required. Now, early in the movie, like I said, you can see the ladies going through charm school, and like they're going down the line. And she's like, nice, or eyebrows, there should be 2, separate them. And she gets to Gina Davis and Kit, and then she gets to Marla Hooch, and they're like, what do you recommend? Remember what she says?
A lot of night games.
Yeah! That wasn't even, that's a bonus. I'll give you a whole extra point for that one. So that puts you at 5 for 5 now. But a lot of ball players, they did grow up on farms, and proper etiquette wasn't exactly a big deal growing up. So a lot of the ball players would have been more in line with Marla Hooch, where the reason they had to go to charm school is because they didn't get this stuff growing up. Oh, and how heartbreaking is it with the dad when he's talking to John Lovett's character about how don't take it out on her, or don't punish her for my mistakes because I raised her as a boy. Because that one hits me in the feels every damn time. But we'll get to John Lovett's here in a minute. Now, question number 6. What does Jimmie Dugan sign on the kids' baseball before the bus takes them to the final game against the Bells? This is something for probably 15 to 20 years. It's such a subtle line. I don't know if I ever picked up on it. And then finally, about 10 years ago, I did. Because it's hilarious.
Wasn't it something like stay away from the crap or something?
Oh, my dude. I tell you. I'll give it to you. Avoid the clap, Jimmie Dugan. And as the kid's walking away, Tom Hanks goes, "Hey, that's good advice." So Jimmie Dugan was inspired by Jimmy Foxx and Hack Wilson. They're two baseball icons who essentially drank themselves to the end of their careers. Foxx, who I think is more of the inspiration for Jimmie Dugan, he hit 534 home runs. He won 2 batting titles and a Triple Crown, but his love of the booze basically cut his career short in his 30s. He ended up managing the Fort Wayne Daisies in 1952. So that was his connection to the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. And not coincidentally enough, but oddly enough, Jimmie Foxx passed away in 1967. The autopsy showed he choked on a piece of food. I just had to include that. I thought that was a really odd little tidbit there about Jimmie Foxx. All right, you are 6 for 6 because I gave you the point on that one. Here's number 7. What was Dottie Hinson's husband's name and who played him?
It was the guy from Mad Men. Wasn't it?
From Mad Men?
No, it's not. Never mind. I can't remember who played him. I thought it was, what's his name? And
Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Oh, that's right. It was... I get the names mixed up.
See, I knew it.
JP.
No. BP.
Bill...
Nope, Pullman. It was Bill Pullman. Everybody gets those mixed up, and that's why I threw that in there, because I wanted to see if you could remember which one it was. So Bob Hinson was the character's name, played by Bill Pullman. Penny Marshall had to fight the studio over a romance between Dottie and Jimmie Dugan. She felt that would distract from the focus of the movie, which is baseball. And then the studio also wanted Dottie to get Dugan to quit drinking. So Marshall ended up compromising, and there's this scene where he's looking around the bus and he pulls the flask out, and she ends up giving him a bottle of Coke. That was kind of Penny Marshall's her compromise there with the studio to have him quit drinking, essentially.
Yep.
God, he was so good in that movie.
Yeah, he was.
We just watched it. Quick side note here. And I would never actually do this in church because Easter Sunday was this past Sunday, and I went to church with the family, and it just reminds me of when they're all praying, and he goes, "Come on." He goes, "God knows we have a game." And then as he gets all of the girls up, he does and he points up to Jesus. It's great. All right, here we go. Number 8. You missed that one. So you are 6 for 7. Here's number 8. The movie ends with what happening to the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League?
Getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
You are correct, sir. And
it also begins with that.
It does. It starts with. It all starts with Dottie. Now, true or false? Is it Gina Davis playing the older version of Dottie Hinson?
No, but it's her voice.
Damn! You just got your extra point back. You're 8 for 8, dude. Yeah. I honestly, up until I started researching this, I thought that was Gina Davis in just old makeup. because they are using her voice. They're using like it's her voice, and then I believe they also dub in Lori Petty's voice, who played Kit. It is Lori Petty, right? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, it is Lori Petty. Yeah, Tank Girl.
So, yeah, I honestly, up until I was researching this, I thought that it was just Gina Davis old makeup. That's all it was. But in reality, it was an actress named Lynn Cartwright, and then they dubbed Gina Davis's voice over. And in fact, the older versions of all the ladies are just they're actresses and actors is who they are. All right, you're 8 for 8, my man. Now this one's a 4-parter. You get 2 of these 4, I'll give you the full point.
Okay.
Finish these John Lovitz lines from A League of Their Own. Doesn't that hurt them?
Wasn't that the line?
No, there's a line right after it.
I don't.
Because Gina Davis responds, "It doesn't seem to."
I don't know.
He goes, "Well, it bruised the hell out of me."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, second one. I don't want you. I want her, the one who hit the ball.
I'm not going to get any of these.
You can climb back under the cow. You might get these next ones. So there's 2 more here. So you got to be in the scene here where it's him, Marla Hooch, with her dad. And he goes, see how it works is the train moves. Not.
Your face?
See how it works is the train moves, not the station.
Okay, yeah, sure.
He was such a dick. All right, here we go. Last one. This is right as they're walking into the ballpark for the tryouts. Hey, cowgirl, see the grass?
Don't eat it.
Yeah! You didn't get the point because you only got 1 out of 4, but there you go. So Lovitz's character, he was going to have a bigger part. And it wasn't just going to be a comedic role, but test audiences responded so well to his one-liners, they cut his part down so he was just focused on the jokes.
He's funny in that movie. He's a funny
is,
guy all around.
He is. And and I met him actually. I think I have a picture with him. I'll put it right there. He was great. He was super cool to hang out with. All right, here you go. You were 8 for 9. Here's number 10. The All-American Girls Professional Baseball League held the first what at Wrigley Field?
Tryout.
Oh, see, this is where this question is a little difficult. I can give you the point for that, but this has more to do with Wrigley Field and something that didn't happen until later, even though the girls' league did it before.
An all-star game?
God, you're right. I'll give you the point. You're 9 for 10. A night game.
What's the answer? Oh, a night game.
So if you don't know this about Wrigley Field and the Chicago Cubs didn't play their first night game until August 8th, 1988. 8/8/88. However, well before that, after the first season of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, their season was over. They held an all-star game and brought in portable lights and played a night game at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, I was right. I was right.
Mind blown. But congratulations, Lan got 9 out of 10. If there's anything that you think that we missed, if there's more John Lovitz lines that you would like to comment down below, please, by all means, do that. Because if I read those, I read them in his voice in my head. Like the one where...
Tartlets.
It doesn't even have to be. It doesn't even have to be from the movie. It could be from Friends. Tartlets. Tartlets. The word has lost all meaning. Dude, he's great. I think John Lovitz is one of the more underrated actors of all time. He's hilarious. But please, by all means, do the comments down below. And if you could click that thumbs up there, it'd be much appreciated.